Alrighty, welcome back to another week on Hit the Gap post-Origin. Origin is all done and dusted, and congratulations to the New South Wales Blues on winning the 2026 series. I say through gritted teeth because that game, there's not really much I can actually say negative about them, to be honest, or about the game as a whole. Because to win the way they did, I think that's probably a good old-fashioned Origin win, in all honesty. You don't want to discount it with the shit that went on earlier in the series. That's been and gone. There's no point whinging about it now. I mean, it's factual. It was all dog shit, but whatever. It is what it is. They got the win. They turned up. It only took 3 whole fucking games, but they turned up and put on a solid performance. I think for the Maroons, it was a little bit lackluster initially anyway. Probably 15 to 20 minutes in, you could tell there was probably some sort of maybe danger signs or just concerns there where we were, we lit in by that point. I think we lit in a couple of tries, soft tries, but we were very tired, fatigued almost very early on, it seemed.
It really felt like they picked out the people that probably shouldn't have been there, and they made good work of them. That's the thing. Cleary scores soft against a pretty bad defensive effort from Capewell.
Yeah, that first one was...
Murray
was
scores
very,
off a pretty poor defensive effort off Nickera.
Yeah. I think even... Was it Nickera or was it Capewell that missed that one as well? No, you're right. It might have been Nickera.
It was Nickera because it was on the right side of the post, I feel like they like this series really isn't much to write home about. I'm going to be honest. It really isn't.
As a whole, definitely.
Yeah, like as a whole, it really wasn't. Like we didn't really see anything spectacular. I mean, Cleary. I think probably the only real spectacular thing you could probably say about it is Cleary gets to put it on his books. I guess that he's finally got a series win where he actually contributed to.
Again, it probably only really took to game 3 to see him stamp his authority, but
to do anything like meaningful. I guess
that's when it mattered. Yeah, like obviously the way game 1 ended, he came out of his shell once they were a man down. But you're right. He's put that stamp of authority on it finally.
Yeah. And I mean, I think I'm not really too sure why we changed the game plan from the prior 2 games. It almost sort of went from make sure Sam and Cam have the ball as much as possible.
Yeah.
To make sure, for some reason, Sam has the least ball possible, Ponga has the most ball possible, and Cam tries to get it away as much as possible. It made no sense. We very rarely saw Cam Munster actually run the ball. It was mostly shifted to Ponga as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
And we seriously just couldn't get anything done with it. Like they had it worked out. I'm not too sure why we went with that, but I'm sure there's probably other analysts out there that'd love to break that down. But I mean, it's a big win still for New South Wales. 2-5, I think it is for them now.
Yeah,
2-5. So
back to 1 in a row.
Back to reset the count. I mean, look, there really wasn't that many outstanding things from this series from either side. I think all 3 games, Queensland's forwards didn't really live up to what they should have. Game 1 was probably the peak, you'd probably say, the pinnacle.
Yeah, I think so. Definitely early on anyway. You're probably right there. I mean, they had in dribs and drabs had some good moments in game 2, but yeah, early on for sure. In game 1, yeah. Game
1. Game 2 was all just edges and wingers. That was spectacular from them, the outside backs and stuff like that. But there really wasn't anything to write home about, which is unfortunate. We didn't really get to see those sort of moments that put blood through your heart, sort of thing. That get the heartbeat going.
Yeah.
I don't even really think there was that much from the New South Wales camp either. So
yeah,
it's just one of those series where it just sort of felt dragged on a bit. But
yeah, a little bit toward the end there. Obviously, not coming away with the win makes it harder as well.
Definitely
harder to cope with or deal with, as New South Wales fans would probably be saying. But yeah, you're right. I mean, there were a handful of big moments in that, but yeah, probably nothing that's gonna, outside of Cleary's 2 tries, or that 1 try he got anyway. Again, like we said, that first one was pretty soft, but that second one was some pretty good rugby league. The way that one came off, it reminded me of a couple that we scored in game 2 there. So, yeah, probably not a great deal, but yeah, a win's a win. And I mean, honestly, if you're a New South Wales fan and you've got the opinion, any other opinion of a win's a win, you probably you're lying to yourself a little bit. The amount of New South Wales fans that I saw writing off Loz and the team from Game 2, or I think it was the selections of Game 2 onwards, and then all of a sudden, getting the win and they're back on the train, back on the wagon, was astronomical. Pretty comical, if anything. But
which is funny because I think that was probably the biggest thing Queenslanders were scared of.
Yeah.
The entire series, not just Game 3, but the entire series. Obviously, a little bit less so scared in Game 2 when we saw Hamole wasn't picked.
Yeah.
But they didn't even use Hamole in Game 3, which is the crazy part. So,
and didn't really. I mean, out of necessity, they didn't. But yeah, they didn't need to. Exactly. Yeah.
So I don't like the criticisms that have gone Loz's way, to be honest, because I feel like they're very invalid.
Yeah.
I feel like the only time you could really maybe put a punch on him is probably for the lack of Hamole in Game 2. He deserved to cop that loss. But even still, man, I feel like he's the picks. The calls over the picks have been pretty outrageous, really. Like, otherwise, they've had a pretty stellar team in the entire series. They didn't use it very well in Game 2, and they probably could have still picked someone better in Game 2. But between Game 1 and Game 3, I think their team picked was, like, outstanding.
Yeah. I definitely think some of those criticisms are valid. But yeah, you're right. The team picked as a whole, and probably 80% of the team picked as a whole from Game 1 through the series. I mean, it didn't change that much until Game 3, and even then it wasn't a massive raft of changes. I think it was 3 or maybe 4, really. Again, as always, better on paper. They finally put it to use, rather, or put it into action. But yeah, I mean, the criticisms that are probably more relevant are definitely, and mind you, most of them it's just journos and disgruntled fans that don't really have much of an idea and either trying to get clicks or just mad. But yeah, is more so, like you said, Game 2, that's probably the big one, was just the rotations and the game plan, I think, was where it all went to shit.
Yeah.
And whether that was through a little bit of experimentation or just I don't know, a bit flustered or what, I'm not too sure. Either way, it got reined in Game 3. And I'm pretty sure Madge went in as a bit of an advisor or something like that. There was something go on which probably helped him steady or pick a solid game plan and run with it. And yeah, it worked. So yeah, good on him. Look, I hope he gets picked again next year. I hope he backflips and decides to coach another year, because I'd love the boys to have another chance at running it through them again. I think it's very possible, and really, I thought this Game 3 was possible, but that might even be part of what did us in. I think maybe just that idea that it was maybe not easy, but it was going to be wasn't going to be as hard as it was.
The park.
They 100% came out to play, and like defensively, they started fast in Game 2 and then died off. This one they started fast, maintained, petered off a bit, and then came back even harder, I think. But I
will say this seems like a very common occurrence with Suncorp games.
Yeah,
very common occurrence.
Last year, Game 1 last year, and then I think it might have been Game 2 the year prior. No, Melbourne was the year prior, I think. But either way, yeah, no, you're exactly right. It is. yeah, it just, I don't know, maybe it's that little bit of thinking there's a home ground advantage, I don't know, but they've won the last few there, and they've won 2 deciders now, I think, in the last couple of years there, so yeah, back to the drawing board. I do hope Billy stays as well. I mean, I know he's not inclined or whatever. If no one else that's suited steps up, he'll probably do it again. But I do hope he does at least one more. You know, I think he'd like to. If he's going to go out, I think he'd like to go out on a win or on a better note. Not to say that if he was to give up coaching the Maroons this year, I mean, he goes out with a good record. He goes out with a very solid record.
Oh, he's still positive.
Yeah, exactly right. It's just he just, obviously as a competitor, probably not the way you'd want to go out. But yeah, that's probably it in terms of Origin chat, really. There's not a whole lot that we can add to what's not already out there and whatnot. I think, yeah, that's it. I think there's a few. It was good to see a few players get blooded for the Maroons this year, definitely. Good to see them around the pack, and hopefully they are again next year. Yeah, big things in the future. I think Max Plath, probably my favourite Queensland player of the series.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Like, without a doubt.
Walker being good. Walker had been very good. Game 3 a bit quiet. They did shut him down very well, but he was another one that was good. But yeah, I don't know. Max Plath for me, I think, by far the most useful, but probably the biggest breakout in
I just think that
series.
for me, Walker's intent sort of dropped off in Game 3. Plath's didn't. He was still hungry.
Yeah.
He was still, and even though he made, I still don't really even fucking. It was a bee's dick, man. It was a bee's dick. the foot in front, man.
That was ridiculous.
Ridiculous, but literally a bee's dick in front. But whatever, it doesn't matter.
I know that's they refer to that as the downtown rule, and used to hear it all the time 2-3 years ago, maybe 2-3 years plus, and now they couldn't give a fuck unless they do impact the play by touching it or touching a defensive player. But yeah, whatever.
Oh, it's insane.
It's whatever.
It's one of those ones where, yeah, probably that in particular was probably the moment where they sort of threw their hands up, I guess. But yeah, look, I think for me, Max Plath, he was constantly hungry. He was, and I feel like we said this before the series even started. We need Max Plath in there because look at the way he plays for the Dolphins. He is so hungry.
Yeah.
And even the way he sat in 18th man, I believe it was last year.
Yeah, he would have been. I think he's been around the squad for maybe at least 2 years. But last year definitely was.
He was definitely 18th, there for
19th.
like all of them. He was 18th, 19th man sort of thing.
Yep.
And he just sat there hungry.
Yep.
He finally got to bite this year, and you can't take the 14 off him.
Yeah.
You can't take the 14 off him. He has to be 14.
Yep.
You can probably still play him 13 if you really wanted to, but he's got to be in the squad somewhere.
Yeah.
In that back line, front line rather, because he's just so he's going to be one of the integral ones going forward.
Yeah.
Especially as we start to see our 9s and 14s drop off as well.
As they start to get older, I mean, we're lucky with Harry Grant and him. I think Grant's a little bit older, but they're similar age, so that combination between them there will be long lasting. But yeah, you're right. He's so useful in a bunch of positions. So yeah, great stuff moving forward into the future for the Maroons.
I think also the idea of seeing Tom Dearden as a halves partner with Sam Walker also looks really potent.
I mean, even probably another season away, possibly. Well, it's going to be another couple seasons, unless Munster's injured or something. But Dearden back to 6 and Walker at 7 there, I think would be great because Dearden. I mean, he's done really well thus far in his Origin career at 7, but him playing 6, his natural role and where he kills it, and Walker not running as much, whatever, just short kicking and that, kicking us out of danger and stuff. It will be hectic. I mean, Munster's great. Munster's great at 6, but he's another one who, in a few years' time, will be probably looking to hang up the boots on rep footy, if not getting told to hang up the boots by not getting selected. I don't know.
I think it's not even really going to be a selection thing. I think it's going to be a doctor thing more than anything.
Yeah. Well, you'd hope not, but yeah, forced out with injury or whatever. Exactly right.
Yeah, I still think he's got groin issues.
Yeah,
I still think he does.
Yeah.
You see it in club game all the time. He's constantly rubbing down. He's constantly, is constantly struggling with impingement. Like he can't be that far away, probably, to be honest.
Ongoing, yeah. We hope to get the most out of him for as long as possible, obviously, but we will say at least the future is looking bright.
The future is not
exciting.
Grim. It's not grim.
Yeah, it's looking exciting. The possibilities are there. And yeah, we've got a handful of other players around as well that haven't even been around the squad yet that we'll see come through in the not too distant future as well. So
you'd probably say, that our forward pack looks really, really good coming into the next few years. I mean, we still have people like Kula Kefu to come in properly. We still have people like Lukey to come in.
Yeah.
And I still even think there's a chance. We haven't really even got to see that much of him at the Broncos because he keeps getting injured, and hopefully he can get rid of that type of stuff. But I think we'll even see like Blake Moser eventually move into that sort of thing with how good he is.
Yeah,
he's an incredible talent at his age and at this time and space.
Yep,
he just needs to stop getting injured.
Yep. Yeah. Definitely another one. Another useful one in the future could be on the horizon for sure. But yeah, that's it. 2026 series done and dusted. We're on round 19, which is the last major, or it's a minor bye round of the year. But back to normal footy for the next 7 weeks. Is it 8 weeks or something like that?
I know about you, man, but thank God, because finals. Man, we just. Let's get back to footy. Let's get back to no disruption footy.
Yeah, I'm getting a bit sad on Thursday nights not having footy to watch, but we're back to the regularly scheduled programming for the next couple months. But we'll have a look at round 18's results, which the major bye round. It's whatever. A lot of players out for Origin and that, but I don't know. I think there's probably some surprising results in these games. First one being the Panthers versus the Rabbitohs, 36 points to 14. Now, Penrith without their stars have played better than Penrith with all their stars the past couple of weeks. So they had suffered a couple pretty average losses with big name players in the squad. And it kind of took the reserve, or not reserve grade, but the B tier Panthers team to get revenge for them by the look of this. Bunnies without Murray. Cam Murray, I think, was probably their only one, right? Due to Origin. I don't think... it was pretty much everyone else was fit. Jai Gray even played this one. He may have gotten injured in it, but he did play this one, I believe.
I just can't believe how stupid Cody Walker is.
I would like to say I can't, but from what I've seen of his career, I don't know.
But just for the modern day footballer,
I don't expect anything less.
The modern day footballer, you can't do that, man.
Yeah,
seriously, man, mind blowing, brain explosion.
Yeah, I think. Not the worst. The worst part wasn't just he's a grub, and you know how shit he can be with stuff like that. Anyway, but the fact that play went on to be an amazing debut try for that young winger. Is it Braden something, or I might be butchering his name? I'll have to have a quick look, but. Got a really good try in his debut game, and it got taken off of him all because of one of the most senior players' dumb actions. Now, if it's not coming in from behind and shoving someone, or pushing someone, or dropping knees in, or standing over them, or something like that, or kicking them, I don't know what. I don't know. Walker's at that point, I think, in his career now where when you're doing shit like that, that's where you should probably be starting to risk your position in the side.
I just don't think we just haven't seen someone so senior devolve. Like, dude he just wound the clock back 31 years of his life and was like, yep, I'm kicking this guy in the shin. Yep, this guy stole my juice box.
Yeah.
Yep, It's just
look. I mean, I'm sure.
it's Jack Cogger, man. Who cares?
I can guarantee Cogger was in his ear or getting into him about something. But bro, you do that shit all the time, and no one reacts the same way you do. So if you can dish it out like you do, you probably need to work on being able to take it. And I don't know, more times than not, he's unable to.
And it is truly a tough one. It was truly a tough one to understand.
Yep.
And the worst part is they could have had one of the tries of the week as well in that game.
Yeah.
If not for one of the stupidest things I've ever seen in football. Period. Like it was probably just as stupid, if not more stupid, than David Farlago punching Braithen Astor in the mouth.
I would relate it to probably, Lachlan Lewis DDTing him, while they're walking off for half time. I would say that was probably one of the dumber things, and now look, Walker's being on the wrong side of that, and now he's earned his name up and lights up with it. So,
oh, man.
Yeah. But, anyway, enough on Walker being stupid. I don't know. Penrith just really, you talk about teams being hungry and players being hungry, they really wanted the win in this one. I think
there was a lot to play for. It was vengeance. It was Origin week. They usually lose Origin week every time.
Yeah.
It's just a big one to be hungry for the younger fellas in there for sure. So.
I think Dylan Edwards was probably the big one that stood out for me, where he's been, I wouldn't say quiet, but he's been shut down pretty well the last couple of weeks that he's led the side with that Cleary and whatnot there.
But I will say that he probably lost his chances at Origin in the last 2 games he's played though, just because he's tried to be a little too overzealous, I think.
Yeah.
But that said, I think this game he probably had a little bit better of a game. Still made some uncharacteristic mistakes, which makes me think that going into next year, we probably don't see Teddy. We probably see Kohler.
I mean, there's a possibility too. Yeah, they're pretty flush with their options, which is quite lucky for them. I mean, you might even see people like Drinkwater's name start coming into contention for it, but yeah, they're pretty flush. I think. For me, I think it's probably unless something big happens, it's still going to be Edwards. I think Teddy's the one that definitely drops off based on age. He's never been the incumbent incumbent fullback the last couple of years, just based on age and form. And I think it'll probably ring true going into next year too. But yeah, Edwards is still up there. It just the last probably month of footy for them hasn't been great, and I think like I was saying. He's the man when Cleary and that are away, and he just hadn't really been getting there the last couple times. But yeah, I think this one, Panthers as a whole. I mean, obviously it shows in the results, but they, I think they sort of strung a bit together as opposed to being so disjointed. And
it's also really hard to talk about this game in general. I feel like because it was just so dominated by how stupid Cody Walker was. Like it's genuinely hard to talk about this game because all I can think about is the multitude. Like it's not even just the shin kick, right? Is the pass into the offside player. Like Cody Walker just ruined that game for us.
The worst, I think, probably the worst part for that was watching Jai Gray do an amazing. Or I think it was on full time on the Siren, an amazing World Cup soccer. He kicked the ball 3 or 4, probably even 5 times.
He passed into Toto.
Yeah, to get a try. And
Walker fucked it up at the pass.
I think his fingers touched it. I think that was prior. This one, it was a kick that went up or something, and his fingers touched it, so he knocked it on. All he had to do was just keep your hands out of it, and his fingers just tipped it, and that constituted a knock on, which, yeah, that's it. End of it there. So, yeah, brain snap. He gets a week on the sideline minimum. I think it's 1 week anyway to think about his actions, and the Panthers finally break that losing streak, those couple game losing streak. Saturday's games, though, now talking about unexpected results. Dragons, 24 points to the West Tigers, 10. Look, I don't want to say upset because the Dragons have been on some sort of rise the last 4 weeks probably, but it is an upset because I mean, not many people would have had the Dragons picked, I don't think, initially.
I think very few people would have had Dragons picked, but then on top of that as well, I mean, look, the downfall of the Tigers the second time probably should be studied.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like there's another 50-point game at some point before the series ends, right? The season ends.
And I mean, Dewey coming back was a big thing.
Yeah.
But this game also showcased no one else in the team wants to fucking do anything.
Yeah.
Only Dewey wants to do things. So, yeah, they were putting up 0 points and four to 6 random points sort of thing in the last few weeks. And now Dewey's come back. He's putting on the points himself. Good on him. But no one else is doing anything, so no one's putting on points.
Yeah, it was very... And I think you're right in that it's seeming like the team's not all giving it or giving it all. You had players like that typically have been going really well, like Terrell May.
Talon as well.
Yeah, Talon. I think, did Talon get injured again? Yeah, so...
He's done for the season.
Yeah, Terrell usually sort of... He steps in and not so much next man up, but he sort of just takes the lead, takes the front foot, and does a fair bit, especially when you've got a few players out injured and whatnot, or suspended or whatever. But yeah, just very, very disjointed. I know Appy did go down. He did play, I think it was early in the second half, I think he did his pec.
Yeah.
Went down, so that threw things up into the air as well, but it was almost like the linchpin or the keystone that just brought everything down.
Which now brings me to my next point. I don't foresee them winning another game for a while.
Yeah, it's going to be tough.
No Appy, no Talon.
Yeah.
They've got some of the weaker, inexperienced edges in the game now.
Yeah. Even like, for me, even Luai's form seemingly ever since
it's gone
all the PNG
further and further
stuff.
down.
Yeah. It just seems... since all the PNG stuff had come out and whatnot. And it's like, hey, look.
For me, it was the injury. I think it was the injury and then the PNG signing.
Yeah, true. Yeah, it was
it's sort of just
timing.
Like it's like escalated.
Yeah. And it almost seems. And look, we've just heard news today or yesterday, that Tigers have said he's free to go at the end of the season. You know, they would much rather use the salary cap space that they've got set on him next year for other stuff, probably to set themselves up after he leaves, which obviously he is the following season. But I mean, it's fair if he can find somewhere or something.
Yeah, but he can also just be like, no, give me my contract.
Yeah, so it's fair. It's fair, I think, for the Tigers to want to do that. But that's right. If he chooses not to, then suck eggs. You know what I mean? I'll
play Reggie's and cop fucking 1.2 mil for it.
Yeah, that's the contract they gave him. So
that is honestly such a Tigers thing to happen. Like,
yeah. The funny thing to me though was when the contract was first signed and that was all spoken about, him having the player option in the end, everyone was like, well, that doesn't happen unless you're planning on leaving. And he came in strong. He sort of helped them turn the culture around a bit. It was all team first stuff. And then I think maybe people were a bit like, oh, maybe he does care about the Tigers and, setting somewhat of a legacy here and turning things around and whatnot. And then the moment that he could, he was like, psych, I'm out. I've done my bit. Thanks for my payday.
Yoink.
But yeah, it's whatever. It's going to, I agree though. I think it's probably going to be pretty hard for them they need to win. Look, they're in a better position than the Broncos, but they need to win and they need to keep winning. They need to win the next few.
Don't they play the Broncos soon?
Possibly, yeah. Yep. I know we play them toward the end of the season, but yeah. But yeah, not to take away from the Dragons. Dragons been building something for the last little while. I think Terrell Sloan had a good game.
Man, he really did. In fact, even Satu too had a really, really good game as well.
Yeah, redemption.
He didn't get any points.
Yeah,
but he doesn't need to get points if he's creating them.
Yeah,
and I think he put in a lot of work to create points as well.
Val's another one.
Val scored off all of them. He got a double, didn't he?
He's another one. Yeah. That very, I'd say, more cold than hot season. Not so much hot and cold, but more cold than hot. And had a stellar game. He's been practicing his kicking again, obviously, thankfully, after missing that one the other week. But, just great effort from him. So, again, season for them probably done and dusted a long time ago. But, to be still putting in the effort and getting the reps and runs on for next year is look pretty admirable considering they had such a horrible start.
Yeah. I'm going to say it, by the way. I'm going to say it. Tigers don't have a bye until round 23.
Yeah, that's their last one. Tough.
Tigers' next game after the bye is the Dragons. I don't think the Tigers beat anyone until the Dragons. And then I'm not even really sure if they win that game.
Yep.
I think there's a very strong chance that the remaining points of their season are that one bye.
Yeah. Which is...
sad.
Yeah.
Depressing.
Not good considering how they started the year anyway.
Yeah, they started with so much promise, you know. To see the difference and the turnaround in form between both the Tigers and the Dragons is crazy to me.
Yeah. Yep.
'Cause when you start that poorly as a team, you usually go on to end that poorly too.
Yeah. Opposite trajectories at the moment.
Crazy stuff.
Talking about seasons in jeopardy.
They're done now, yeah?
Broncos and Sharks was the second Saturday game, and I think this is one of them mathematical things where mathematically I think if they win every game and certain teams lose a certain amount of games or whatever, they do have a chance, but the likelihood of them winning every game from here on out is very slim.
That feel when you're pulling the calculator out at round 18.
Yeah. Look,
or 19 even.
They've got the bye this week, so that's I think it's their last bye too, so I'm pretty sure it's their last guaranteed 2 points, so they need to be winning every single game from now on, but they're
losing to us.
Yeah, yeah, they're like, fuck, I think they're like maybe third or fourth from the bottom of the ladder, aren't they? Something like that. So,
second. They're second last.
Oh, even worse. There you go. The big thing for this one was the Sharks getting a win away from home. Now, I thought I tipped the Sharks in this one, but I tipped the Broncos. Turned out I tipped the Broncos. And
we both had the same logic. We both had the same logic going into this game that Sharks away from home.
Yep.
Stink.
Yep.
Broncos want to keep their season alive.
Yep.
This is it.
Yep.
It was
the exact opposite of that.
It was not it.
Yeah. And mind you, stinky moments from certain Sharks players and things, but even stinkier from the Broncos. Like watching Perham and Shibasaki not give it all to chase a ball, kick toward the try line, which resulted in a really easy try. Or just not competing for it.
Well, they were just walking.
Yeah,
they were just walking
it was
back.
A trot to it, because it was almost like one of them was like, that's right, he's got it, and the other one was like, fuck, I hope he's got it, and then yeah, easy try,
man.
Yeah, just stuff like that. It's just like, man, coming from the defending premiers, it's.
I mean, honestly, watching. Look, it was a little bit. The Sheba one is still bad. Don't get me wrong. I'm not letting him off scot-free either. Okay, but the Hayes Perham one tells me you're not a first grader right now, bro. You're not a first grader right now. You probably should do more Reggies, I think.
Yeah.
That was bad.
Look, out of necessity as well. Obviously, that Walsh there, and they don't have young Sailor, Tristan Sailor anymore, and that. But you sort of go, geez, if Walsh doesn't play another game for the rest of the season for some reason, surely you start looking to other options. You can't just rely on Perham.
No, that was not first grade play.
Yeah,
that was anything but that.
Yep. And I think, did we see the return of Moser in this game? I think he's not far off. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure I might even be making that up. He did. He did play this one. He only played a little bit, but he did play. So, back end of the season, getting some players back in that. It's, tough one for the Broncos. It's almost just get in. If you lose another one or two, then just start getting your team for next year ready, whoever you're going to be playing next year.
I just don't even really foresee them winning.
It'll be rough. It will be rough.
Like, I'm pretty sure they've used all the buys, right?
This week's their
This
last
week,
one,
yeah,
I'm
this
pretty
week,
sure. Yeah. Yep. But yeah, I mean, Hines, I think as well, is probably another one to touch on. Started relatively slow. I think he missed a lot of his conversions as well. No surprise there. But started very slow and then just came home with a wet sail. So hopefully he can take a bit of confidence or something from the way the game ended. Sharks are going to need him to be firing at 100, not going missing at times like we know he can. But yeah, good to see him. For Sharks fans, anyway. Good to see him get a win away from home. A decent win away from home.
Trindle also doing fantastic.
Yeah, still carrying the flag. Flying that Cronulla flag high.
Did Will Kennedy get really injured in this game too?
I am not sure. He might have gone down with something.
I'm pretty sure he got a good try and then he went down.
Okay, yeah, maybe he might have.
Which is going to be pretty awkward for them this week, I think.
Might have picked something up, possibly, yeah. Sunday's games, though, Eels versus Eagles. Here's another one that who would have picked this one? Fosball. I don't know if anyone can go on about Fosball any longer because... I
just think the origin period has seriously soiled this team.
Yeah.
Like, big time.
Every single time. Look, they had Tommy Turbo there. And look, they did suffer a fair few injuries and repetitive ones. Falolo went down 2 or 3 times before not coming back again. Who else did they lose? They lost their other centre, didn't they? Or winger. Something happened. Garrick went off with the HIA, and I don't think he came back.
Classic. Garrick loves the HIA.
Yeah, and he didn't come back on.
He needs to probably start being careful.
Yeah, that's the Roosters' problem as of next year. But he, I think he stayed down for something and got taken off. He failed his HIA, but they were a bit scattered and stuff like that, but an Eels team that, again, they are just embattled with their squad. It's such a young team. A lot of them, their first year playing first grade and playing together. But I don't know, Eels just seem to do so well without Moses there. It's crazy. I don't know what it is. Look, this was different too in that Pezzett played. He finally played another game, and he's been pretty average. The games he has played this year, he hasn't been as great as we know he can be. But, God, they just went on with it in this one.
I think I've brought this up before, where just when Moses is playing, they're very awkward. They don't like to push too hard in certain areas. They just let Moses try and do everything.
It's almost methodical or by design. Yeah, it's kind of by design, you know what I mean?
Which is so odd because you would think that they would use how powerful his kicking game is to sort of get him around and sort of start, really start chasing. I mean, they've got some incredibly speedy people on their team.
Yeah.
Even Ronnie Volkman's got some speed about him. Yep. They've got some great speed men, and they just don't. They just lack a lot of intent. They lack a lot of care when Moses is there. When he's not there, they're hungry. They're firing. They're trying to put plays on left, right, and center. It's just a very odd one. I'm not too sure what it is. Why it works that way.
Yeah, I think one thing I've noticed probably with them, a bit through injury and that as well, but they are lacking maybe a star or two in the forward pack to help Moses at times. But yeah, you're right. It's watching them play without him, and look, they haven't won every game without him, but I would argue that they've performed far better, or they've been, that's right, a bit more free. And we've seen that again.
They get Barlow back in round 21, so I think we'll start to really see, when they looked their most threatening when they've got Barlow left, Jack Williams right. And they play really heavily off the inside ball from Mitch.
Hopgood as well. Hopgood's another one that can't string a whole season together, unfortunately.
Yeah, he's ACL. We won't see him till next year, I think. So
when he's firing, that's just another forward they've got there that they can just run off, sort of thing.
Yeah, I think we need to see Barlow back for them to start making some real big pushes again.
Yeah, they do. They do need some forwards, definitely. I mean, DeBellon's toward the back end of his career for sure. So, some big forwards back will help them immensely. And the last game, Knights versus the Dolphins. God, who saw this one going the way it did? And
I think Tipper's everywhere want to die. But
hey, look, 0 for 5 gang here, man. It almost felt like it was on purpose. I mean, that's 3 right out of 8 in a normal round, which I've done a couple times this year, so it's nothing too crazy. But in a round where some of those should have been surefire things, God, I don't know. But coming right down to the wire, this one, in the end anyway, it was a field goal that decided it right toward the end there. And then I think a very contentious call off a short kickoff for ball, not travelling 10, which very clearly...
Definitely did travel 10.
Very clearly everyone saw travel 10 and then come down to a challenge, had to be challenged. And then the video ref said, although it did travel 10 metres, the player that touched and affected it was travelling back toward the 10-metre line. So then they decided to agree with the on-field decision, even though when the player touched it, he was very clearly on the other side of the 10-metre line. I guess we're just making up rules and officiating how we decide we want to on the day. Back in the on-field ref, even though it's an incorrect call, but it's whatever. Again, they were still behind, but killed their chances of having a shot, one last shot at sorting themselves out, or at least tying it up. But yeah, Knights, regardless, I think very strong. Without Ponga there, without a couple players there, very strong, I think, really.
You can seriously just put Fletcher anywhere, man. You can seriously put him anywhere.
Well, almost both of them there, right? Like
Hunt as well.
Hunt he does great at centre every time he plays there, but geez, he was on fire this one in lieu of Best being there. So
man, he was cutting through holes.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, yep.
And I think we spoke about it because we were out doing the hill and we were having a chat about it. But
talking about the pros and cons between him and Best, specifically. Right. Yeah,
and one of the biggest things we said was Fletcher Hunt is going to have a field day against Avarillo, who's not really been in the side for a little bit. So, and that's exactly what he did. He punched hole. He made him guess, and he punched holes right through the line.
Yeah. Yep.
And giving him so much space, and this is probably where Jake got it wrong as well.
Yeah.
You give someone like Fletcher Hunt even an inch of space and he'll fucking take a mile. He'll take a mile.
Yeah, and he's got that size. I mean, he's sized in height and that. He's probably not super built. That's what Bradman's biggest, I think, factor is of making him so dangerous, his speed and how big he actually is. But yeah,
I just don't think I feel like a lot of players haven't really grasped how quick he really is, though.
Yeah.
He is hard to handle.
Yeah. Fletcher just uses that. He uses his size and build to his advantage. He knows his game and he does real well. It's almost like another Dom Young or something, or even a Bostock. It's very Bostock.
Very Bostocky, yeah.
Yeah. But and Fletcher Sharp again. Fletcher Sharp killing it, filling in at fullback as he always does. Knights are really it's a complete 180 from the last couple of seasons, but last season in particular, I think they're making a real statement to at least go deep into the finals this year. They're setting themselves up very well for it regardless, but how they've been, they're making a good shot at, I think they're going to have a good shot at it.
Adam O'Brien, no good as an attacking coach.
Yeah. Crazy.
And now that he's gone to the Bulldogs.
Yeah, funny that
they now struggle with
attack. Yeah. And then you have Holbrook come in, who he did pretty decently at the Titans. Titans still struggling a fair bit, which is, I think, probably maybe a bit deeper than just the coaching. They've got a few different coaches and struggled still, but he did all right with them there. I think at least they played finals under him, went to the Roosters. Roosters have been doing pretty good. Then comes to the Knights, and the Knights complete 180, like we said. So
I just kind of feel bad about the whole Gold Coast and Justin Holbrook situation. I feel like Holbrook was given not much.
Yeah.
He was given really not much to try and do something with.
Yeah.
And, even Hannay has been given probably arguably more than what Holbrook was given.
Yeah.
And hasn't done much with. He's definitely done better with getting the side back on track, don't get me wrong. Yeah. But, I don't really see the Titans making a prospering effort to make finals for a little while still, I think.
Yeah, they look, Hannah is a different thing, but you've seen probably the biggest raft of changes under Hannah now since maybe Holbrook was was coaching.
Over half the squad. It's over half the team
has changed. Yeah. So you're right. It will take a couple of years to see any real big fruitful efforts from that sort of thing, I think, come to fruition. But it's crazy just to see how drastically the Knights have changed under a different coaching style.
Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah, and look, they got Ponga to come back, Bradman to come back. Brown is it was a big question mark on Brown, playing 7, but he's, at least this season so far, he's slotted in. When he has played, he's slotted in and done a job, which is something they've been lacking the last probably 3 to 4 years, is a good halves pairing. May have finally found it. So Knights fans rejoice. They've got to be happy there. With that, though, we will jump onto our tips for round 19. Now, tonight's game, it obviously being a minor bye round, there aren't as many games, and we had Origin on Wednesday, so no Thursday night game this week, starting on Friday with the West Tigers versus the Warriors. This one's here in Sydney. It's at Campbelltown Stadium. So, I don't know, Tigers seem to be, not the favourites, but seem to be getting a bit more love than I would expect them to. But, look, personally, I don't know.
Last 13 plus.
Yeah, coming off I think Warriors had a bye last week. Yes, sorry, we didn't talk about them. They did have a bye. They're gonna be fresh, and they've just had, they've just had too much momentum. Look, even if Barnett wasn't to play, or doesn't play, I'm not too sure if he's even named or whether he's in the extended squad at this point. I don't know. They just got too much going for them. Tigers are just in a barrel roll at the moment. In a tailspin, rather, sorry.
Waz have got Fisher Harris as well as...
Oh, he comes back. He's back. Yeah, nice.
What am I missing? There's one person I'm missing. They've got one person who's coming back to Campera.
Oh, yeah, AKP, that's right. Yep. They did lose DWZ. He's out, so yeah, not like for like, but in terms of speed and ability, you're pretty comparable.
Every single place I look at on the roster between the two teams, I
outmatched.
Just don't see a chance. Yeah, Buller doesn't stack up to Tuapiki. Wings, Skelton and Sania. I think Sania's playing tonight. Yeah, Sania is playing too. So against Chans and AKP, I don't see a chance at all. Maybe... actually, no, Skelton doesn't get over Chans. There's no way. I just don't see it. I was going to say if maybe it was Sania versus Chans, maybe, but no. The centres, I think Toa has a decent chance against Leia but Leia is way bigger than him.
He's a bigger man, yeah.
It's going to be a tough one. You'd probably say the only two that are even comparable really on their team is maybe Terrell and Fisher Harris and Jerome and Chanel, and even then, I don't think that's even. It's not. It's too close to call on that.
Form wise, seems to be.
Just no way.
I mean, at least with Jerome and
I just can't see it. I just cannot see it. I just can't. Yeah. This is a Wise 13 plus for me if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, I'll be going Warriors as well. Unfortunately, Tigers fans. Saturday's games, tomorrow's games, Dolphins versus the Sharks. Now, this one again, good matchup. It's up at KO Stadium there in Redcliffe. And I'd like to, default to Dolphins winning based on the fact Sharks are so dog shit away from home. But, they did play very solid last week, and I think they'll carry some momentum. But if I'm being honest, I don't know whether they'll carry enough on. I don't know. I don't think teams have been finalised just yet either. So everyone does have is on reserves, that played Origin. So you've still got. Hang on, no. Hamaso might actually not be playing at all. Cool. So Hamaso's been not named completely. He's getting a rest. You've got Trey Fuller there. The only one who may drop out there is you've got Plath. Plath may drop out, and Flegler may drop out. And look, although I think Plath deserves a rest, I think he may. Push into the side. He may just push into the side there and maybe push Knowles out or something like that. Sharks really not without anyone. AFB is named, so he was number 23.
Actually, is JMK playing?
He should be. He is. Yeah, he's back. So he's back full time in the hooker role. So is Brayley. So Sharks even have all their Origin players playing. So, God, it'll be tough. But
oh man, honestly, actually, is Herbie playing? So he survived. Okay.
Yeah, Herbie's still playing.
I was worried that he took an injury last week and he was gonna not play for a couple of weeks. But
yep.
If he's playing, that's fine. Personally, I think this one for me, I'm gonna go Finns.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards it. Even though we did see a good win away from home, I don't know if I'm comparing the Broncos to the Dolphins at the moment, especially besides that there could have no Hemiso in the squad. But I don't know. I think the Finns do get it done.
Yeah.
I think they find a way to get it done.
I think even without Origin players, I think their forward pack's bigger than the Sharks, and they'll really cause havoc down the middle with Trey Fuller.
Yeah. Yep. We've spoken about it before. Their replacements, the Origin replacements, are probably better than the Sharks Origin replacements. But even with their Origin players in the squad, Sharks Origin players back in the squad, I think the Finns are probably, and they're going to be looking for a win after last week, losing by 1 point.
They're going to get their asses kicked after last week for sure.
Yeah. So at home, I think they will be looking for a solid win. The second game, though, Bulldogs versus the Raiders. This is at a core stadium, and all the money and everything is on the Dogs for this one. But look,
I think this is smoky.
Yeah, I think Raiders. I think Faders rather. And now I've said that, they're going to throw it. But I think the Faders may actually get it done here finally, away from home nonetheless. But Strange is back in the side. I don't think he played very much. He didn't need much game time in game 3, but I think he is going to come back and absolutely kill it. I know they got Ethan Sanders still in the 7. He's been sort of a little bit shaky. His position's not been a lock as of the last month or two. They've got Kobe Black hanging around the extended squad still. But, I don't know. I think they come back in and kill it. Is Hudson playing? Because Hudson, the dog, had a very big game. Is he named? No, he is. He's named. So he will be playing.
There's another big one that has been named that I think is a big deal for this game. Josh Papali'i is back.
Yeah, they get some more punch in their forwards there.
I think with their full forward rotation back, I think we'll actually see a bit of movement.
Yeah, yep. Noah Martin's a big one for me as well. Absolutely killed it early in the season before getting that syndesmosis injury or whatever it was. Absolutely kills it. Dogs attack. Again, we spoke about it. Don't think it's going to be enough. I think the Raiders might grind them or choke them out a bit here.
I also think it's very ambitious to put Critter in after the effort that he put in Origin.
Yeah, look, playing 6 and I was a bit, I questioned it a bit the other week, but he did pretty well actually.
He didn't do too bad at all. I thought this was finally.
He did a job.
Maybe this is the better play,
He did a job for sure. But you're not wrong. Big game defensively there. So hopefully, for the Raiders' sake, he is a bit worn out. I think Raiders probably looking, again, I've said that, they will throw it. They'll find some way to throw it, but I think Raiders can get this one done.
Yeah, and I've got Raiders as well.
Yep.
I still think it's not going to be a blowout, but
yeah,
I think Raiders will get it.
Yep. And the last game tomorrow, Roosters versus the Eels. Moses back. Moses named. Moses is named. Roosters are without a few. Walker missing this one, so Hugo Savala's named. Have they got Walker around They do. So Robson and Walker are in the extended squad. Still do have a opportunity to play. I think they probably do rest them though. Savala.
I think this end of the season, I think Roosters will will win this comfortably.
Yeah, I think, and Savala at 7 there too. We saw him last year absolutely kill it. So
I think the other big thing for this is that we are seeing Tupou back.
300th game as well.
Big one.
One
big
club
one.
player, just like we saw Jace. I think the boys will get up for him. But
That's right. We got Rob Toyer playing as well as Marky Mark is also lining up.
Yep.
So I think with that entire line there,
man, look,
only missing Walker, but trading him for Savala, that's fine.
And
in my
Robson
opinion.
as well. Even if Robson doesn't play, Connor
Watson's still fantastic.
Yeah, and I think that Benny Luelu, or probably butchered his name, sorry, but him, bouncing between hooker with Watson there, the 1-2 punch will be enough, I think, to get it done. And again, Eels just seem to get a monumental win or a great win without Moses, and then
I think they sit on their heels,
Yeah,
Moses.
He comes in and things just get a bit too passive. So, yeah, I think Roosters get this one done for sure. I think Tupou being a one-club player for 300 games, pretty huge, and I think the boys will get around him for it.
Definitely.
Sunday's games, Rabbitohs versus the Knights.
Man, this is so tight.
Yeah, it's going to be tough, this one. Now, I'm pretty sure Rabbitohs get everyone back. Outside of Cody Walker, obviously, having a spell this week, very deserved. Take a couple weeks off.
Who have they announced at 6, though?
Young Bud Sullivan, Jaden Sullivan.
Jaden, yeah.
He is playing there. So, I mean, probably not as good, but it's an okay feeling, I think, in my opinion. They're really not...
Trell's not back, is he?
No, he's still out. I don't think he's in the reserves. No, he's not. They are not without many that they haven't had the last couple of weeks. Jai Gray, 18th man there. Dufty named at fullback. Even if Dufty plays instead of Gray, I think they might still be rather solid. The big ones for me are Ponga. Ponga's named. Best is named. Outside of, I think Saifidi got a hamstring strain or a hamstring injury last week, something like that.
Yeah, he did.
Cody Hopwood filling in, but man,
I think that injury is really sad too, because that might even spell doom for him, I think.
Yeah. Oh, hopefully not, man. But he's another one. I think his brother had problems with hamstrings and calves his whole career. But
I think it's just time for those two boys, eh?
Yeah. Look, they're a pretty well full side at the moment. So yeah, you're right. It is tough. I'd like to say Knights, but I feel like if I do, that's when.
Well, his best playing as well, actually.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, it's pretty much the whole
Origin
squad are playing, man. So I'd like to say Knights, but I feel like doing that, Rabbitohs may pull something. May pull a rabbit out of a hat.
It's going to be a tight one for sure. No Joe Gray is what's getting me, I think.
Yeah, it is. It does throw it up there. Look, we have seen Dufty absolutely kill it when he's filled in, but they do better, I think, with Gray there.
More threatening. Yeah, that is a tough one. I'm gonna take the stab. I'm gonna go Knights.
Yeah, yep. Knights are favourites, only slimly. Yeah, I think they carry it on too. I think Knights carry on the form.
And for some reason, they play better away from home. I don't know what the go is there either.
Yeah, but, it's another one. Just like Sharks,
wacky.
Only playing good at home generally.
And at home, they still win at home, but
only just.
It's like bees dick territory.
Yeah. So, we saw that last week. Perfect example of it.
And the week prior, I think.
Yeah. Second game tomorrow, Sunday, sorry, not tomorrow. Sunday is Manly versus Cowboys. They're down at 4 Points Park, so we copped a bit of a shellacking at home to them a few months ago there. Tom going down mid-game and Kohler filling in at fullback and then them going surprisingly better. I don't know how they go here. I'm a bit sus on them. I think Fosball's had its run. If I'm being quite honest, I don't think they're out of contention for finals by any means. But
Cows have a full side outside of Tom.
Yeah. I don't think Manly are as sure of a lock anymore as they have been.
No, and I think we're
after
also
last week's effort.
I think we're going to be a little hungry as well.
Yeah,
seeing as they seem to always be a bit of a bogey team for the old Cows.
Yeah. Joe Walsh is, just to name it while we're on it, Joe Walsh is killing it. He's killed it this year when he's had opportunity. Now he's going to be playing for the rest of the season. yeah, man, he's been doing well.
And you know what? It really wouldn't shock me if we saw some changes over the off season too. Because I think we're looking at Rocks and Diamonds versus Young Hot Boy.
Yeah, exactly right. Moving into next year, whether they decide to stick with Walsh, they bided their time with him.
Honestly, it wouldn't shock me if we just see another Warrior situation.
Yeah,
like straight
possibly.
up. Because Walsh is seriously.
That's the future.
He is not only is he the future. I think he's one of the more up and coming big 6 and 7 players.
Yep,
like for sure.
Yep. The one to look at there though is Flolo. Flolo's dropped out with that injury. So, but look at that: Saab, Kohler, Garrick, and Lehigh. Like crazy backline, man, with Tommy there at fullback. Geez, yeah, everyone is backing up. So Cotter, I'm a bit, I wouldn't say shocked, but I almost would prefer Cotter to be given a break. Dearden was meant to come back, and they are resting him one more week, which, again, it's blown out a few weeks more than what it should have been. But
4 weeks.
If that's what's needed, then...
Remember the first tip was week 16 he was back.
yeah. Well, there you go, yeah. Yeah, if that's what's needed, or he's still not 100%, do it, because... The moment you bring him back too early, that's
Cook our season.
Yeah, that's right, and he injures himself even further. So, again, Purdue at 6 is the big one, which is concerning. Again, hasn't been as bad this year as it was last year. Maybe through a bit more time and whatnot with the combinations there, but I'd almost rather Sutton back there. Laybutt can sit on the bench and Purdue can go back to centre, but geez, I think Cowboys will get it done. I think we get revenge.
I'm with you. I am shocked that Cotter's not getting the rest.
Yeah,
but
he deserves it. He should.
It's probably also out of necessity, and I don't know if is there any actual official news about McIntyre yet?
No, again, with the rumours a couple of weeks ago of him going to the Warriors, there hasn't been anything, so...
I just find it funny that he's been extended bench since.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, and you're right, he's 18th man, up there with Bateman and the 19s, so there if we do need him out of necessity, but almost
Matty Lodge
seemingly...
did say today as well that he's not going anywhere, he's staying at Cows
for
another year, so...
Yep, and being good for us this year, so if he can replicate that next year, then we'll use him. Yeah, look, we've got a solid bench there. I do like it. So, yeah, I think Cows will get it done.
I think it's Cows for me.
Yeah.
I am still dubious about Nanai and Cotter, but, as long as they're happy, the trainers are happy with them, then sweet.
Yep. I think Nanai probably, in terms of how hard they went, I think Cotter left it all out there, got put through the ringer, the poor bastard, and he did his best. Went up against Haas and everyone, but after the one that worried me about Nanai was copping a 60-meter punt straight to the side of the head.
Yeah,
I think his
face immediately swelled.
Yeah, you could see. I could hit. My ears started ringing when that ball made contact. Yeah, you almost. Yeah. I don't know. That you're right though. That's what concerns me about it. I know he didn't get a whole heap of game time in comparison to Cotter and that, and didn't get put through the ringer as much, but. Yeah, that was worrying when I saw it as well. Still Cowboys for me, but...
Definitely.
Last game of the round as well, Storm up against the Titans down in Melbourne there. Titans should not be without many. So Lasardi injured, Leo Blore and Stanley Hewen drop out. It's pretty well outside of that. A full-strength... Melbourne team for what it has been. Jesus, has there ever been a full strength Melbourne team this year? They've had a fair few injuries and
I'm just going to say
changes.
I don't think this is as clear cut as we think it is. I think Titans actually have a chance in this game.
They have, and again, much like the Dragons, they've been on the up, but they've probably been on more of an up than the Dragons is the way to put it. Just looking at their bench, Cooper Bye is there, Verrills is there if needed. Pasco's starting hooker.
Jojo's playing, yeah?
Yeah, he is backing up, I believe, man, in the centre there, yeah. So, look, God, it'll
to
be
be
a tough
honest,
one.
and he didn't really have a bad Origin showing either. Like I think the experience is only going to make him grow as a player.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm actually willing to go and tip the Titans this week, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have a feeling that, look, I think Cam and Grant are probably going to feel a bit after that loss.
Yeah. For me, I think Harry probably, they might even bring him off the bench, or he might get benched or whatever, but he probably needs another one that probably needs a bit of a rest. Munster maybe as well, but
I think they're being named to play out of necessity.
Yeah.
Their season, look, it's not a Broncos situation, don't get me wrong, but it's still on the line.
yeah, it's not good.
It's not great.
by any means.
No, not at all.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Yeah, I'm going to go Melbourne in this one because I think they take a bit of frustration out. But I do agree wholeheartedly. I think it's going to be close. I think Melbourne win, but I think it'll be a close one because the Titans just haven't gone away. Probably since the middle of the season, the midpoint of the season, or just before, they just haven't gone away in their losses.
Yeah, not at all.
And we've seen them get some wins and snatch some wins that very deserved. So
it's going to be interesting to see.
It's gonna be tough for Melbourne.
Well, just seeing how Lavi's going to try and work out Kinney.
Yeah.
It's going to be an interesting battle.
Very similar in terms of flair anyway. Speed and whatnot, and they can, make
They
something.
both just love to slip between the rock.
Yeah.
So it's
a good runaway. Yeah, exactly right.
It's going to be interesting to watch how they try and keep them both down. But I think this is going to be a real fullback challenge, this game.
Yep.
Real fullback challenge.
Yep, for sure. Titans probably not really playing for much. Melbourne playing to keep the season alive. Big game from both of them, either way.
Definitely.
Yep. With that, though, I think that's probably about it. Last short one of the year. What did you have, though, for your try of the week?
Oh, man. It's I touched on it briefly when we went over the game, but Adam Dewey for the West Tigers. This is a game that had nothing. They weren't winning it. They were getting beaten. They were getting beaten pretty bad by a team that they shouldn't lose to. But Dewey stands up and does one of the most incredible things. He gives the ball a little kick from about 15 meters away. So it's a decent distance to cover. And he chases his own kick with full intent and plants the ball probably that far away from the dead ball line. That sort of effort, I mean, that's a 20-meter run. That's a 25-meter run nearly.
Yep.
And he's beaten the defensive line and scored the try. You can't tell me that bloke does not want to win games. That is hunger like we've never seen. That is starving levels of hunger.
And if there's anyone in their team, look, I know Buller can on his day pull a rabbit out of a hat or make some magic or whatnot. But yeah, if there's anyone on that team that can score some sort of magnificent try or make a magnificent play anyway, you're dead right. Dewey's done it a number of times and he continues to do it.
For a bloke who's so broken, like just physically broken,
being injured, major injuries too,
makes things happen.
Yeah.
Like he's such an inspirational player, really.
Yep, not scared to go after it. Yep, and that's exactly what they need. Tigers need that. So
definitely.
Yeah. Very good. With that, we'll look at the NRL Fantasy Buy of the round. Now, I actually bought him last week, but a lot of people are going to be looking for hookers or cash down options, rather, is what I should say. And hookers are big ones at the moment to be looking at. Me personally, with that Appy news, I have to get rid of him because I was trying to fly under the radar and do some left field stuff, having Appy as my main hooker. Can score big. Worst part about that injury and him missing 4 weeks and having to trade him was the fact I held him through his suspension period and his buys and all that. I didn't get a whole heap of use out of him. And now he's gone for good. So, well, not for good, but for pretty well majority of the rest of the season anyway. So,
you'd probably say they'll just keep him for us.
You would have to think they would. They would want to anyway. But Yeah, so cashing down anyway for a lot of people. As I said, I bought him last week, but Owen Paddy, I think, is a big one. We're seeing Jaden Brayley play a bit of lock in that Raiders squad, so he's not doing a whole heap in terms of the hooker role there. It's been between Tom Starling and Owen Paddy's starting to pick up bigger minutes. He's playing a lot more minutes and he's been starting. So, look, a few not so huge scores anyway. Look, from round 14, it was 26, then 34, 45, then 50. It's trending upwards. His minutes are trending upwards and his scores are trending upwards. But even if he is only pulling 30s or whatever for such a price, you know what I mean, a low price and a good cash out, he's still only 303k. If he's pulling 30s consistently for the next couple of weeks, he's still going to make you a little bit of money, but someone that's good to have there in the reserves as a backup. Look, we've seen him do it a few times this season. Can pull a 40-20 out of nowhere. Very big defensively. Puts in a lot of effort there. With that combo with him and Tom Starling, you know what I mean? I think they're probably Ricky's starting to work it out and get a good balance between the two. So, yeah, Owen Paddy, good cash down. Make yourself some money and start buying some of your big players for the end of the season. Your Payne Haas's and whatnot. Even, I know Cam Murray's pretty cheap at the moment, but your Murrays, you can look at him. You can look at your Alex Twalls, big name players, Olakawatu's and stuff. If you need cash for that, then I think Paddy's probably your choice. That's probably about it, though. I think we've touched on most of our major news around the league, right? There hasn't been anything too huge come out. I think outside of the broadcast deal the NRL have secured with Channel 9, not a whole lot is changing in terms of games going anywhere or...
Pretty much just the Luai news, really.
Yep.
And, of course, the Origin.
Yeah. I think probably, and what they're saying anyway with this broadcast deal is the fans get a bit more out of this one in terms of what they get to use with media stuff. So what that is exactly, we will see in the future, but here's to hoping there's maybe a little bit less restriction or more open availability for media stuff. There won't be... circumstances or situations rather like ours where there's 10 minutes of the 2023 grand final partially obscured by either one of us but playing in the background, so the whole video gets nuked due to copyright. Hopefully stuff like that stops happening, but that's about it for this week. We will come back to you in a fortnight, getting toward the pointy end of the season. As always, give us a follow, Facebook or Instagram, if not both. Hit the Gap Podcast, and thanks for tuning in.